Hello there, Virgo. Time for a monthly reading for May of 2021. I'm Michele B. And if you aren't subscribed, if you haven't followed me in the past, you'll notice that this is not my typical environment. Usually I'm in my adorable studio flat full of art and houseplants, but it has been getting too damn noisy in my downtown neighborhood because the pandemic is, all the restrictions around the pandemic have been lifting and all the businesses are coming back to life, and there's so many cars, weekend warriors on their motorcycles blazing up and down the road, and it's been driving me absolutely nuts. On top of that, I've had a lot of people staying in my studio lately, and so I don't have any space to myself. So I thought, what would I do if I possessed unlimited abundance? What would I do for myself? I get myself a nice hotel room just for myself, just for doing recordings, just for living luxuriously. You know, I pick up my little boy, buy him some pizza, stick him in the corner with my phone and some headphones, and I would get my work done. So here I am. That's what I did because I'm a Virgo and I love to work. What would you do for yourself? I would work, but luxuriously. You know. Anyway, let's go ahead and get your reading done for May. And I'm going to start out with looking at what to embrace for the month ahead and what to leave behind. Now, keep in mind that Mercury, you're ruled by Mercury, you and Gemini. Mercury is going retrograde at the end of May, but the shadow period, which is much more intense for me than the actual in the middle of retrograde time, the shadow period, the transition, the edge of Mercury retrograde is happening for the final 2 weeks of May. So that's going to be there. Already we have the Seven of Pentacles coming out. I'm not surprised at all, being a Virgo sun myself, for what to embrace, the Seven of Pentacles. And let's look at what to leave behind before I talk any more about that. What to leave behind, we have the High Priestess in reverse. You were leaving behind this disbelief in your own intuition. Magic, the reality of magic is proving itself to you over and over and over again, and you're finally getting it, for Pete's sake. Like, how much proof do you need, the universe says. And God and your guardian angels, the spirits, your higher self is all saying, how much proof do you need that magic is real? That you can create anything you want? And it isn't actually magic, it's quantum physics, but it's for real. It's something that actually exists. So you're starting to figure it out. You're like, okay, affirmations, intentions, journaling, whatever it takes for me to believe in myself, that's all I need in order to be wealthy. That's all I need in order to have beautiful relationships. That's all I need to feel like I'm living out my higher purpose. That's it. That's all I needed to do this whole time. I'm like, I spent 40 years spinning my wheels thinking that I had to do the standards of what was expected of me. And it turns out all I had to do was get in my true femininity and just really enjoy myself. And all of a sudden, all the abundance started coming in. So you're leaving behind that skeptical, logical person of the past. And you're embracing the fact that life is fun, life is creative, life is full of surprises, and that you can have anything that you want because you are a direct link to the universe. And what to embrace is the idea that you don't have to work hard. Isn't that wonderful? You don't have to work hard. Starting this month, there's a light coming in, and it's going to bug me. Oh my God. And I'm going to have to do something about it because I'm a Virgo. Okay. There it is. Okay. Because it's going to make me nuts. You see how this guy's not working hard? In fact, he's hardly working on his crops. He just shows up to it every day. So basically, all you have to do is show up to your intentions every day. You don't even have to leave the house if you don't want to. Everything you desire is going to be coming to you. All you have to do is your self-love, loving your own physical body, loving yourself. I love my toes, I love my feet. I love my heels. I love my ankles. I love my shin. I love my calves. Like go through your whole body and love every bit of it. And then make sure that you're doing your emotional work as well, where you are forgiving every bad thing that ever happened to you, and you're forgiving yourself for every dumb thing you ever did, everything that you're ashamed of. You're forgiving everything. You do that work on loving yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually, all the magic is coming. That's all you have to do. You don't have to go out there and work hard to bring in the abundance. Love yourself. Other people are going to be attracted to you, and they're going to treat you really well. So you don't even have to worry about setting boundaries, because you're not attracting anybody that's not going to treat you really well. All right? You don't even have to trip on it. Nobody's even going to mess around. All that garbage is behind you. So now let's move on to talk about your soul purpose, what you need to know for your soul purpose for the month of May, what you need to know for your abundance and prosperity, and what you need to know for your love life. I'm going to look at all of that. Give my little deck a quick shuffle, and let's go ahead and get started. What do I mean by soul purpose, Virgo? I mean what it is that you are meant to do when you came into this physical body. What was your calling? And I think our soul purpose plays out in everything we do. Okay. Even if it seems like it's nonsense, even if it seems like it was a total waste of time, even if it seems like you hurt yourself and other people, it was part of the growth, part of your growth and part of their growth. Our soul purposes can be very much enmeshed. So there you go. All right, here we go. A little card for that. Oof. You are getting so aligned with your soul purpose. Virgo, I'm such a Virgo today. I have a lot of other placements, but I'm loving this reading. I'm loving this reading. And it's the same thing for Gemini. So I feel like this Mercury retrograde energy is going to be really good for you. It's going to set you straight. Some people say they have a really hard time with Mercury retrograde, but I actually have overall it ends up like readjusting me, recalibrating me to where I really need to be, because I kind of fall off the wagon a little bit. The 3 months in between, I kind of fall off the wagon and I don't take care of myself as well as I should. And then, Mercury retrograde sets me right. 10 of Cups is like you got the whole package. You figured out how to integrate your whole life into your soul purpose. You figured out how to tie it all together, and it feels really good. Like sometimes we feel like we need to live in separate compartments. We have our work that we do outside of our house. We have the work that we do in our home. We have we have our exercise over here. We have our grocery shopping over there. But Virgo is figuring out this month how to put it all together in a way that runs smoothly and efficiently, and it feels really good. You're bringing the people you love into the work that you do. My kid's over there drinking his water after he ate his pizza while I'm getting my work done. And we're all happy. He gets to experience this hotel room, and he gets to experience seeing his mother taking good care of herself. It's all these soul purposes are intertwining. That's a really good thing. So that's what you're going to be thinking about this month, and maybe even fully experiencing. How can I pull it all together? All right, let's see if there is anything else that can be extracted from this whole happily ever after 10 of Cups card. Anything else that can be known? The moon wanted to come out, and it's trying to remind you to never stop doing that emotional healing, emotional clearing work, okay? And this is where a lot of the joy is coming from. It's because there's a part of Virgo that's saying that somehow they don't deserve to be happy. And so every time that comes up, I can see Virgo, instead of spinning it around where they're having this bickering kind of argument with, I guess, with the voices of the past, abusive partners or abusive family members of the past. They were like, you don't deserve to do things that you want to do. You don't deserve to be happy, right? Those are all coming back. That's what the moon is all about. It's that mental tape loop. Whenever it comes back, I see Virgo doing this. I'm going to show you what I got over here. Hang on. Boom! Virgo's going to pull out their journal, and they're going to write down exactly what's going on in their heads, right? They're going to write down exactly what it is that they're thinking, and they're going to look at it and they're going to go, oh, well, that's dumb. That doesn't make any sense at all. That doesn't make any, the moon is lunacy, right? It makes no sense. Of course you deserve the best, Virgo. Of course you do. Let's move on to your abundance and prosperity. This is what's going to bring you the joy, though. This is going to bring you the whole package, is being able to work through that nonsense that's been keeping you from getting everything that you want. That we keep ourselves from being happy. Abundance and prosperity for Virgo, please, for the month of May. What does Virgo need to know? The Devil came out. Well, there is something that wants to say that it's like there's this weird, the devil's all about the taboo, right? And when we're told that we're having too much luxury, we're having too much pleasure, we're having too much enjoyment, and Taurus season, which is 3 weeks of May, is Taurus season. In Taurus season, we can overindulge in the drink, we can overindulge in the food. And if we worry about the taboo of overindulgence, we're limiting ourselves, right? We create a hang-up in itself. You notice that in a lot of cultures where certain behaviors are not taboo, it's less of an issue. They have less of a problem with people being addicted in cultures and like societies that don't really see drug addiction as being a mental illness. They just see it as like something that people do sometimes, and that's lame, but whatever. And they like have places for people to put their needles. Then drug addiction isn't as much of a problem, right? So the more weight that you give your habits that are overindulging, the more weight that you give it, the worse you're going to feel, and the more negativity you're going to attract to yourself. So the cards want you to know that if you do want to indulge, make sure you enjoy it. The moment that you're not enjoying the indulgence, the drink, the food, the lovemaking, whatever it is, like just blissing out on YouTube, right? The moment that you stop enjoying it, don't do it anymore. That's all there is to it. You're not a good person or a bad person depending on your behavior. There is no good or bad. There just is negative and positive energy, and it's just what you attach to it. That's all the devil is. He's an illusion. Okay? Anything else to know about that? Your abundance is tied, this month, your abundance is tied to how you judge yourself. So don't judge yourself negatively. Just enjoy it, or don't do what you want to or don't want to do. All right? All right, so what else it wanted to say was, there's like, should I do this or should I not do this? Oh, I can see how that plays out in my life. And that is entwined with the shame associated with particular behaviors that might be considered taboo. And what I'm saying is that you don't have to actually make a decision, okay? If something's coming up that there's some shame attached to it, it doesn't necessarily have to do with the indulgences that I was just talking about in the last part. It has to do with connections with other people that you might want to just kind of keep on the down low. For specific Virgos that need to hear it, you're like, should I do it or should I not? You don't actually have to make a decision. Everything's going to run its course and you don't have to do anything, okay? You just focus on loving yourself and being positive. If something doesn't feel good, just don't show up. There is no good or bad, all right? There is you don't have to be ashamed of yourself for choosing whatever you choose. What you choose for yourself that feels positive, you don't have to explain to anybody. I hope that this is focusing correctly. Anyway, you don't have to explain yourself to anybody. Just be you. No one has a place to judge you for what you decide to do for yourself. You know what I'm talking about, Virgo. You just stick to feeling good about you and what you do. If other people don't like your choices, excuse me. The Two of Swords is about choices. Excuse me. Other people don't like it, so what? That's their life. You gotta live yours. Okie dokie. Now let's look at your love life. Virgo, Potentially, there are millions of people who could be watching this video when I get it posted. There are millions of people I could be potentially speaking to over space and time, right? They could be having all kinds of relationships. They could be in committed relationships. They could be in a where's this going kind of connections. They could be wishing they could be in a committed romantic connection. They could not be in a romantic connection, not wanting one, and just have intimate connections that are not romantic, and they just want to know more about it. I'm going to be very general in my discussion here when I pull the cards. If something specific comes up, I'm going to say this is specific to particular Virgos you need to hear. Okay, so here we go. Messages for Virgo regarding intimate connections. Messages Virgos need to hear. Wow, okay. Four of Wands is all about making a commitment to something that's really meaningful to you, something that you're really excited about. I do feel like it dovetails with this thing a little bit. Making a commitment to something that works for you and not doing anything. Just don't do it. Just don't. You don't even have to waver on it. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. And that's all there is to it. And don't feel shame for getting yourself entangled into or enmeshed into something else, right? Don't feel shame about it. Just do what feels good. Only do what feels good. And don't feel shame, don't feel guilt about it, okay? Do you first. Be kind, be gentle, be kind and gentle to the people that care about you. Treat them with respect and dignity. That's all you can do, okay? Any further clarification? Yeah, like whatever the commitments that are most meaningful to you, you in your heart, touch your heart, Virgo, you in your heart know what, in your hearts know what is most important to you. And that's what you got to stick to. That's the authenticity that's being asked of you in Taurus season. Be authentic to what's most important to you. Don't worry about anything else. The other people will be fine. They'll be fine. Life goes on. They don't need you as much as you think they do, Virgo. Believe me. Make a commitment to what feels best to you. Boom. Why is that there? Why is that Three of Swords there? This has to do with the third party. And I don't feel like that has to do with the Two of Swords here. I feel like that's something else. And like I said, if there's something specific to certain Virgos, that I will touch on that. So, let's find out. I'm going to use my itty bitty little Rider-Waite deck. Let's find out what else, clarify what else is needed to be known about that. It's like a third party, somebody feels left out, somebody feels like, I didn't deserve that treatment. It feels like it's not you. King of Swords. Yeah, somebody's in some kind of intimate connection. I mean, for me, it feels like it's somebody from the past, but in some kind of intimate connection, somebody's coming in and then like being like bummed out. It could have something to do with the Two of Swords situation. Somebody's coming in and they're being like, wah, right? Wah, you broke my heart. And this is you. This is you, Virgo. That King of Swords is like, your feelings are your feelings, okay? I'm not going to allow myself to become enmeshed in your feelings. As empathic as Virgo wants to be, they can't let themselves be enmeshed in somebody else's whininess, somebody else's like self-pity, okay? I'm really feeling like this is more like you projecting it onto other people because of this commitment and this difficulty making a decision, okay? I feel like you're projecting it onto them. Like you've got a guilt complex. Okay. Not listening to me, Virgo. All right. We still got a little bit more time, so I do want to go a little bit. Can you please, Tarot, give me some feedback on a situation other than the guilt complex issue, other than the taboo guilt complex thing that Virgo's hanging on to? Because we've already covered that. You got to do what feels good to you. And don't worry about what anybody else thinks about it. We've already covered that. That's all you can do. Seven of Swords. It's still there. The guilt complex, the sneaking around energy. It's still hanging out. But you got to do you. Okay, well, it's like saying, just commit yourself to your work. If there's anything, just commit yourself to your work, it says. Just commit yourself to the friends that aren't asking too much of you and your work. Okay, so be it. You don't have to work hard. Like I said, you'll be inspired to do what you need to do, showing up on a regular basis. If you have to, make the I'm busy working excuse to this person. All right? That way you're not getting pulled into this scenario, this sneaking around, this taboo scenario. Just say, I'm busy working. I can't participate in that thing with you right now. You know, it's not about you. It's just, I'm just too busy. It just didn't work out. Sorry. Didn't work out. I can't do it. And then you won't get yourself in that bind where you're doing things that you don't actually want to do. Okay? I'm busy. Whoops. Do it. Just say it. Okay? This is where I leave off. I hope that you got the messages that you needed to hear. Okay? I love you, Virgo. Let's cap it off real quick. So 7 of Pentacles. I'm trying to remember it from the beginning. 7 of Pentacles at the beginning about what to embrace. Embrace that life is easy. It doesn't have to be hard. It's all about focusing on you, having pleasure, enjoying yourself, taking it easy. If there's something that's meaningful to you, what it is that's meaningful to you, show up to it on a regular basis. Don't do the things that don't give you pleasure. Don't do anything that's not giving you pleasure. All right? And that High Priestess is believe in magic. If you have to, regarding this situation, regarding that situation, set your intentions in your journal that everything's going to be fine. That you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Okay? Love you, Virgo. See you later.